to Sofa Community Conversations. I'm Steph, your host, and we are spending the day with one of the most familiar faces in Philippine design, Amina Aranaz-Alunan. Hi,
Hi,
Amina.
Steph.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do at Sofa?
Okay, so I'm one of the co-founders of Sofa. Lauralee and I, we started it about 18 years ago. When we started it, it was really because we really felt that there was a need for the fashion professional to be legitimized. There was a need to also open the eyes of the public that there are different careers in fashion outside sewing, pattern making.
Right.
There's a whole universe of fashion that in the Philippines at that time we were not very exposed to.
The big question that we've received for the day is if you can tell us your design story and how did you know that you want to be a designer?
I've always known that I was a creative. So ever since I was a young child, I was always exposed to the arts. Even playtime for me was always an arts and craft project.
Okay.
I was a ballet dancer growing up, so it was really about self-expression. Even in school, while I was an okay student,
Okay.
but I really enjoyed every time there was a project or a subject that gave me the opportunity to be creative.
So,
And it was
yeah.
the type that I would volunteer for
Mm.
school projects, not because I wanted an extra grade, but because it excited me, because
Okay.
it allowed me to do things that were a bit outside academics.
Okay, so design is like your happiness
Yes,
since you were a child.
definitely.
What were you hoping students would experience at SOFA that you felt was missing elsewhere?
At that time, I've always known that I wanted to study fashion.
Okay.
And when I was looking for a college program, this was in the late 90s, there were really no real options for me at that time.
Okay.
And so it was always a plan that, okay, I would go to a regular college in the Philippines and then I will leave Manila to study
Right.
fashion abroad. That was like
Right.
the popular route for
Mm.
everyone. And so I really felt that that was a bit of a disservice to young creatives or aspiring designers who knew from an early age. And I wanted to create a space, an institution where they could nurture their design skills, their creativity, starting from a young age. And sometimes, like now, sometimes when I see our students, I sometimes envy them that at such a young age, they really get to sharpen their skills in designing and just without having to think yet about work, about the industry. They really have the time to play and experiment.
So with SOFA, actually, you and Lauralee have put together something monumental known as the SOFA method, right? Can you explain to us what is SOFA method and how does SOFA method prepare students for the unpredictability of real creative work?
Okay, when we created the SOFA method, it sprouted from the idea that we noticed that especially in the Philippines, when you think about studying design or fashion, it was always there was a methodology that was about studying trends, looking at what's out there. At that time, it was look at magazines, look at inspiration outside yourself, even look at other designers, and then somehow everyone was sort of just creating versions of things that have existed.
Right.
And so we wanted to try to challenge this idea. And we also questioned, we tried to look into why is the Philippine design and fashion industry not as mature as other countries? Like, where is it sprouting from? Of course, there are many reasons, but one of it also is that the understanding of the market or of what design education is, or even what design really is, it was still very different. People thought that designing initially was equal to technical skills.
Right.
And we discovered that also through talking to a lot of designers, of academics, and the SOFA method was born also by one of our previous academic directors, who is an architect and he's American. And so he was able to bring to SOFA a new perspective of, and bring into us, like how design is seen in the Western world, and
Right.
how we could use also those influences and combine it, with the Philippine setting. And so the SOFA method, basically, it really is about, first, it's about self-exploration. It's knowing that design starts from within,
Okay.
and trying to understand and explore yourself, creating your own design identity, creating your own design vocabulary, creating your own world, your own universe, and finding ways to bring those, those intangibles into the tangible world
Right.
of fashion or interior design.
Right.
So that's one aspect of the SOFA method. Another aspect of the SOFA method is really a strong commitment to the design process.
Okay.
It's how, you knowing that you can't fast forward good design, that you have to go through research, numerous sketches, editing, creating different iterations, quick prototyping, and then going back again, even having the courage to destroy something you made
Right.
because you want to make it better. And so that commitment to that process, which is not simply about thinking about, this is what I want to create. It's not jumping into the end product right away. It's really going through the process and see where it takes you. So not trying to predict right away the end product. And part of this practice, the repetition of the design process really helps sharpen a designer and allows a designer to take control of the entire creative journey, so that when you create something, it isn't something that you did by luck, but somehow you can really take ownership of it.
Okay.
And then another aspect of the SOFA method, which was very new, I would say, to the Philippine education practice, based on our knowledge, is the critiques.
Okay.
So critiques is very important for a student to understand what they're creating, defend what they're creating, articulate what they've designed. And so our first challenge back then was, when you think of critique, you think that it's something negative. You think that it's saying something is ugly or pretty.
Especially to creatives.
Yes, yeah. So sometimes you'd think that it's an attack on yourself, So we also have to readjust our thinking that the critique is really an educational tool to allow you to consistently produce good work.
It's amazing. So here at SOFA Community Convo, we had student guests prior to this, and it's all those are the major things they said too. Like their primary takeaways, being in the SOFA community and being under the SOFA education system, is that the discipline and the critique, those are the things that they really will uphold for a long period of time. So that's very nice, yeah. So given that, in what ways do you believe this approach, the SOFA method, can help change the design game in the Philippines?
I think that this approach, number one, it really pushes a designer or a creative to not move towards the popular, the acceptable, the normal. It really pushes them to move more towards creative danger. And because it's through taking risks that you can really chart a new direction for Filipino design, a new direction for yourself as a designer, as when you are trying to create your mark in the Philippine landscape and even the world. Of course, it's so important that you are able to embrace your unique point of view and articulate it and make sure that it is seen in all the work you do consistently all throughout.
And so far, what has been the most rewarding part of building Sofa?
The most rewarding is when I see that like now that sofa is, I would say, it isn't even mine. You know, the fact that it has managed to stand on its own and evolve on its own and operate on its own and influence Filipino culture, I hope, Philippine education, the lives of our students on its own without without anymore me having to be like a central part of it. And for me, the fact that SOFA has withstood the past 18 years,
18 years,
yeah.
yeah.
And of course, we hope for SOFA to be here forever. This is not something that we built and we that eventually we think or we hope that would that when we are not part of SOFA that it won't be around. We really hope that SOFA will
Yes.
outlive us. So yeah, so
Like a legacy.
yes.
So looking ahead, how do you hope Sofa continues to evolve with the industry, with the design industry?
Well, number one, I think we need to create more programs
Okay.
that would cater to the new careers
Okay, yes.
that are shifting
Yeah.
or that are sprouting from whether in fashion or interior design or even design in general. So we need to serve that market. So that's one. The second is in terms of what we already have, definitely technology, methodologies. It's something that we have to continue evolving and adding to our mix. Another thing is perhaps even going beyond the classroom, finding other ways that as an institution we can impact and influence learning and education, even if it's not like about if it's not a new program. It could be a new space or
Right.
a book. So really finding other ways beyond classroom experiences.
Okay. And if you have one advice to the youth who are aspiring to be in the world of design, what would that be?
This has always been my
Okay.
my
We wanna hear
message.
it.
Yeah, my message ever since I think when I started SOFA. Number one is you can never ever stop dreaming. You have to have a dream, and it has to be huge. It has to be a big dream. And you have to believe it, and you have to fight for it, and you have to do whatever you can in your power to make it happen. Don't allow anyone or anything to tell you that dreams don't come true, because they do come true. As long as you work hard, you put in the hours, you put in your heart, your soul, and your time, and just move forward. Always move forward. And another thing is, take every opportunity that you can, that you think will contribute to your passion. Like, don't think about what will I get in return. As long as it's something you're passionate about, go and take the plunge and do it, because as long as you are working with heart, or you enter a project with heart, it will come back to you 1,000-fold, whether or not it's something that you are paid for or not.
Thank you very much, Amina. This
Thank
has
you
been a
also.
wonderful day. It's so inspiring, and you're such a design fairy godmother. So, if you like our episode, please click like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Again, thank you,
Thank you
and
also.
welcome to Sofa Community Conversations.
Thank you.
Cheers!